Okay, to solve this rational equation, what I would do is first try to get rid of the denominator. Okay, so let's just look real quick. There are three terms here. Here's a term, here's a second term, here's a third term. All right, to get rid of the denominator, I'm gonna have to figure out a common denominator for all three. All right, so this is v plus 2, v plus 4. This has a denominator of just 1, and this is just v plus 4. Okay, so common between all three terms would be v plus 2, v plus 4. Because this one has a v plus 4, this one doesn't matter because it's just over 1. And so the least common multiple would be v plus 2, v plus 4. I'm going to multiply each term times that common denominator. Okay, now working with each term, I am going to cancel out any common factors. Okay, and now I'm going to simplify each term. Okay, the next thing I want to do is multiply all of these things together. I still have more multiplying to do, so I'm going to finish multiplying this. Okay, and now I'm going to combine like terms. This doesn't have a like term. It's in a class of its own. So these two are like terms, and these are like terms. So let me clean this up. Okay, now I'm going to want to move all of these to the other side. So I'm going to, this is a negative 3v squared. I'm going to add 3v squared. I'm going to add 16v. I'm going to add 20, all on both sides of the equation. Okay, so let's clean everything up. All right, now I am going to want to factor this trinomial. All right, so because there is an a term that's 3, I want to use diamond method. It'll help me factor the fastest. So let's do the diamond method. Okay, so if you recall, we're going to draw our x, and then on the top of the x, we're going to think a times c. 3 times 16 is 48. On the bottom of the x, we're going to put the b, which is 16. On the sides of the x, we're going to do 3v and 3v. Now we got to think, what are the factors of 48 that will add up to 16? All right, 48 add up to 16. So that would be 12 times 4. 12 times 4 is 48, and 12 plus 4 is 16. So we're going to put 12 and 4 on the bottom of those ratios. Now we're going to simplify each ratio. The only one we need to simplify is this one. They share a common factor of 3, so divide 3 on top and bottom. So it would be v over 4. So these are my two binomials, and I'm going to write them over here. Let me shrink my diamond method so it's out of the way, and all of that equals 0. And now I can solve for v, all right? So all of this equals 0, which means this factor has to be 0, so that 0 times this equals 0, or this factor has to be 0, so that 0 times this equals 0, right? So in order for, let's focus on each one. In order for this to equal 0, v has to equal negative 4, right? And in order for this to equal 0, v has to be negative 4/3, correct? Okay, if you're not sure, if you forgot why, just make sure you work it out. 3v plus 4 equals 0, and you'll find out it's negative 4/3. Okay, now you may think we are done. However, we must go back and check to see if each of these is going to be cool in the original equation, okay? So let's go back and check. Here we are, back at the origins, all right? So we're going to substitute all the v's for negative 4, and let's see if that works. And we have a problem. We've got zeros in denominators. We cannot figure out this number because it is undefined. We can't have zeros in the denominator. So guess what? All of that work to figure out that 4 cannot be one of the solutions. All right. So let's see if negative 4/3 is going to be a solution, or if we're going to have no solution. So let's do that. All right, let's substitute negative 4/3 for v, and let's go ahead and work that out. And as you can see, negative 4/3 is a solution for v, so the final answer is v equals negative 4/3. Yay!